What do you think's been the hardest thing about coming out here on your own, figuring it out? Like, what's been the biggest challenge with Hollywood, the music industry, this industry, as you mentioned? Like, what's been the most difficult obstacle that you think you've had to face?
I think loneliness. It's so weird how I would assume that some people, that see me and see all that I've accomplished and all of the people that listen to my music and follow me, they would think that that's something that I wouldn't struggle with, but it kind of makes me feel lonelier in a way. When I go on tour, per se, and I perform in front of thousands of people and I get off stage and I go back into a hotel room by myself. There's not a single thing that could explain how empty and lonely that feels, being in front of so many people that love you and that you're connecting with through music, and then just going back to have absolutely no one, no one to talk to about it. Yeah, it's sad, and I deal with things daily, all the time, and sometimes I don't have the people that I can just, call, like my mom. I can't just have my mom that comes here and she can like tell me everything's going to be okay. And it does get scary, and I feel like I've always been very mature for my age, but since being here, I've matured a lot, having to deal with certain things in the industry. But still, at the same time, I feel like I'm still a kid at heart. I just am only about to turn 21, which is crazy to think about. But I don't know. I feel like loneliness is something that I struggle with. And it's very hard, especially in LA and Hollywood and in the industry, to find the right people that you can really trust and count on. I feel like I'm even lucky enough to say that I found like probably four, the entire time I've been here. But you never know what people's intentions are, and not everyone has the same heart as you, which I feel like I struggle with as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting how artists, I feel, for years have struggled with being on the road alone. And this year I got a glimpse for my first time because I just went on a world tour.
Yeah.
I'd never done it before. I'm obviously a lot older than you. And I was traveling from February 1st till up until about 2-3 weeks ago when I got home. And that was the longest I've ever been on the road. And I just sat there and just thought about all my clients or friends that I have who are musicians and people that I work with. And I was just sitting there thinking about how hard this would be if I started doing this when I was 15 or 16 or 17 or 20. And I can totally see why it's so challenging, but it feels like no one's really found a way to make it easier, which is why you still see artists after all this time canceling tours and announcing that they need a break. And do you now see that as natural, that it is hard, or do you sometimes fall into the trap of like, oh, it's a weakness or it's something about you? Or are you able to accept that this is just hard to do? Because I think some people kind of go back and forth. They feel guilty that they find it that challenging.
I mean, I feel like it has to be hard. With all the amazing things that I've been blessed with doing what I do, like there has to be things that have to be difficult, And I don't mind, struggling, because it gives me something to talk about and to write about. I mean, that's what my whole music and everything that I'm about is focused on, is, the things that I struggle with, and I talk about them so that I can help people. In a way, it's hard, but I feel like I'd rather deal with this, and the struggles that come with this than, having to do something that I don't love and, be unhappy with my life.
I think that's a great mindset. That's incredible that you've been able to grasp that idea so young. I think that idea, and I just want to repeat it for everyone who's listening because it's really powerful. You just said that the life you've chosen, it comes with stresses and challenges and issues, but you'd rather choose that life because it connects you to something you love than the other life, which sometimes we think like there's a path that has stress and there's a path that won't have any. And that's just not true. Like both of them have it. Whether you follow your dreams or you don't follow your dreams, there'll be stress on both paths. And it's about choosing which one you'd rather have. So it's incredible that you've grasped that idea.